Hi all, welcome to Chemagulum with the chemistry. We were doing Kerala PSC HST Chemistry Junior previous year question paper. Already did 3 parts. If you did not watch the video, I will put the link in the description box. Check those questions. Already we covered 30 questions. In this video, 10 more questions we are going to discuss. First question: hot bands in IR spectrum is a consequence of which of the following transition? A, V equal to 0 to V equal to 2, V equal to 1 to V equal to 2, V equal to 0 to V equal to 1, and V equal to 0 to V equal to 3. And hot bands are observed when an already excited vibration level further excited. In option A, C and D, you can see it is starting from V equal to 0. That means from ground state there the excitation happens. But in option B, it's already an excited state further excited. So the answer is B. And these transitions are temperature dependent, and lower signal intensity at lower temperature, higher signal intensity at a higher temperature. That is why it's known as hot bands. And if the transition is 0 to 1, so that is known as fundamental transition. And if it starts from 0 to n means higher levels, it is known as overtones. So option A is overtone, option C is fundamental, and option D is also an overtone transition. Answer is V equal to 1 to V equal to 2. Next question: the mass spectrum of alkyl halide showed M and M plus 2 peaks in the intensity ratio 1:1. The compound is alkyl chloride, alkyl iodide, alkyl bromide. Cannot be predicted. In our first video, that part 1, the first question was related to this mass spectrum and the intensity ratio. Now we can see what the answer of this question. If one bromine atom present, then it will give 2 peaks, M and M plus 2, and the ratio will be 1:1. So the answer is alkyl bromide. Here M and M plus 2 gives 1:1 ratio, 2 peaks. If there is 2 bromine atom, there will be 3 peaks, M, M plus 2, M plus 4, and the ratio will be 1:2:1. If there is 3 bromine atoms, then there will be 4 peaks, M, M plus 2, M plus 4, M plus 6, and the ratio will be 1:3:3:1. Okay. And if a chlorine atom is present, then M and M plus 2, the ratio will be 3:1. If 2 chlorine atom present, then there will be 3 peaks, M, M plus 2, M plus 4, and the ratio will be 9:6:1. This question we did in our first video. Please check that thing. If there is 3 chlorine atom, there will be 4 peaks, M, M plus 2, M plus 4, M plus 6, and the ratio will be 27:27:9:1. This is an important concept. The bromine, the abundance of bromine have 2 isotope, and the abundance is 1:1, almost 50-50. So we are taking as 1:1. In chlorine atom, these 2 isotopes are, one isotope is that is Cl37 and Cl35 is the one isotope is 75%, other is 25%. That's why we are taking 1:3 or 3:1. Next, the number of peaks expected in the proton decoupled CMR spectrum of toluene. Here we have to find out C13 NMR spectrum of toluene, that is how many different types of carbon are present in the molecule. And here mentioned proton decoupled. That means we know that the proton have a spin, so it have a capacity to split the signal in n+1 ways. So here mentioned proton decoupled, that means there is no splitting. We just want to calculate the number of different types of carbons. In toluene, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 different types of carbons. When it comes to proton NMR, this CH3 proton we consider as a single signal, and the remaining these 5 protons will give a single signal. So 2 signal for HNMR and 5 signal for C13 NMR. So the answer is 5. Now next, the density of an FCC crystal, 0.2 kg of element contain 24 into 10 raised to 23 atoms with the unit cell parameter 2 angstrom is. We have an equation for density, D equal to Z into W divided by Na into A cube. For FCC, the value of Z is 4 and the weight here is 0.2 kg and N is 24 into 10 raised to 23 atoms. A means unit cell parameter, this is small a, okay. 2 angstrom, that is equal to, we can convert it to meter, 2 into 10 raised to minus 10 meter. Just substitute all the values and solve. 4 into 0.2 kilogram divided by 24 into 10 raised to 23 into 2 into 10 raised to minus 10 meter cube. We'll get an answer of 4.16 into 10 raised to 4 kilogram per meter cube. Here it is meter second, something like that they given. It is meter cube. Density means mass by volume, so it will be kilogram per meter cube or gram per meter cube. So the answer is 4.16 into 10 raised to 4 kilogram per meter cube. Here option B is the correct answer. This you change it as meter cube. Next question, rotational partition function for hydrogen at 0 degree is approximately. We have an equation for rotational partition function. Q rotational equal to h square by 8 pi square I k into sigma. H is the Planck constant, I is the moment of inertia, k is the Boltzmann constant, and sigma is a constant. For homonuclear molecule, it is the value is 2, and for heteromolecule, it is 1. Substitute the values. Before that, we have to find out I. I means moment of inertia. For hydrogen molecule, the I is given as 2 mR square, 2 into 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 27 kilogram into 2 into 10 raised to minus 10 meter cube. You just study some basic values of this mass and radius or the moment of inertia of some basic molecules. So it is easy to calculate the values: carbon dioxide, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, something these molecules you have to study. I equal to 2 mR square, and just substitute all the values, you will get 13.6 into 10 raised to 4 kilogram meter square. Always write the units so that it is easy to solve the equation. Otherwise, if there is some conversion needed, so just while putting all the values, we may be not able to solve, because in options sometimes, not in this case, sometimes the answer will be something like 0.136 or 1.36 or 13.6, like that. Decimal point only difference. That time the values, the conversion is must. So always write the unit along with the substitution. When writing this, writing the values, you just note down the unit also. Here moment of inertia is 13.6 into 10 raised to 47, 10 raised to minus 47 kilogram meter square. Now we have h square value 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second square. Divided by 8 into 3.14 square into 13.6 into 10 raised to minus 47 kilogram meter square, and 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 23 kilogram meter square second raised to minus 2 Kelvin raised to minus 1. This is the unit or the value and the unit of Boltzmann constant, and sigma here homonuclear, so value is 2. Solve this equation. And we have the conversion. Here joule second is there, here kilogram is there. Joule means it is Newton meter, or we can write as kilogram meter square second raised to minus 2. Joule second means kilogram meter square second raised to minus 1. Joule second square here we have written. So joule second square means kilogram meter raised to 4 second raised to minus 2. So here kilogram square meter raised to 4 second raised to -2, that means this is also J square S square. So we can cut these two values and we are getting an answer of 1.5 Kelvin. Okay. This joule in terms of kilogram meter square second raised to -2, this interconversion you have to study. Simply we can tell that joule means Newton meter. Newton means force into the unit of force, that is mass into acceleration. So you can write you can derive like a mass into acceleration like a kilogram meter per second square, and you just add the again one add then meter. So it is joule means Newton meter, or that you can convert it to kilogram meter square second raised to -2, like that you have to remember. Okay, so the value here is 1.5. Which of the following is not feasible? Term symbol for neon 2p1 3p1. We already did one question, one or two question from this term symbol. We have a general formula 2s plus 1 xj, and we have 2p1 also 3p1. Like this we can represent, and s means here 2 electrons are there, so 2 into 1 plus 1 by 2, that is 1. 2s plus 1 have the value of 3. Here these 3 have 2s plus 1 value 3. This don't have, so the answer is this. We can derive the exact terms. L means here -1, here also -1. Modulus value it will give 2 representing D. J value means L plus S to L minus S, 2 plus 1 to 2 minus 1, that is 3 to 1. So the terms are 3D3, 3D2, 3D1. So 3D2 is here, 3D1, 3D3 is also there, 3D1 also there, 2D3 is not possible. So the answer is D. Next question, determination of CFSE of transition metal complex can be done using this which is spectroscopy? Electronic, rotational, ESR and NMR. ESR electronic means UV. Transition metals are colored because the energy involved in this transition occur in the visible part of the spectrum. Most of the transition metals are colored, and we have different geometry like octahedral, tetrahedral, square planar, and these produces different crystal speed splitting because of the geometry and the proximity of the ligand to the d orbit. So all these value have different CFSE value, and mostly this tetrahedral complexes, the energy difference is less, so it will mostly form high spin complexes. When it comes to the ligand nature, or octahedral complex can perform high spin and low spin complexes, and all these values are related to CFSE. So using electronic spectroscopy we can determine the CFSE value. Next, the vapor phase irradiation of trans 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexanone will give cis 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane, trans 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane, cis and trans 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane, and option D mixture of A and B. And here it is mentioned trans 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexanone. Is there any compound like that? I don't think so, but we can write as trans 1,2, instead of 1,2 it is 2,3. 1,2 means here carbonyl we are giving priority number 1, so here again one methyl it's not possible. So the question is 2,3-dimethyl cyclohexanone, and there is no 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexanone. So trans 2,3-dimethyl cyclohexanone we can represent like this, and see the options: cis or trans 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane. This is 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane, and another option is 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. This is 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. And which one is favorable, that is what we have to find out. Here you can see this conversion, that is 2,3-dimethyl cyclohexane onto 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane means here the CO is getting, or the carbon will get reduced to CH2, CO reduces to CH2, and for in vapor phase only the irradiation means using light, this reduction is not possible. For this we need some kind of catalyst, reagents we needed. So not catalyst, reagents needed for this CO to CH2 conversion. So the possibility here is 2,3-dimethyl cyclohexane onto 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane is possible. Here you can see that this carbonyl group decarbonylation will result this conversion. So decarbonylation means there is two types of reaction in presence of light, that is Nourish type 1 and Nourish type 2. So we can consider Nourish type 1 if Nourish type 1 reaction is possible in this case, or this reaction is what, Nourish type 1. So the answer 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane is not possible. So we have to find out whether only cis is formed or trans is formed or both will form. That is what our answer. So the conversion of 2,3-dimethyl cyclohexane onto 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane is known as Nourish type 1 reaction. We can see the mechanism. First, homolytic cleavage will happen. Homolytic cleavage will result free radicals, and we are getting free radical like this, and it is planar. So we can write like this, CH3 we can write like this. Again decarbonylation happens, and here two radicals are formed. It can bond to form both the compounds, both cis and trans will form, and almost the ratio is almost 50-50. So Nourish type 1 reaction is possible in this case, and its result a mixture of cis and trans 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane. Option D is the correct answer. Next question, photochemical isomerization of trans stilbene to cis isomer can be affected in presence of, and what is this means? Here cis-trans isomerization of stilbene involves an excitation of electron to a planar excited state, which releases to a twisted state, and when it decay from this twisted state, it will form both cis and trans stilbene. And the trans form absorb more light at the excited wavelength than the cis form, and consequently trans is converted to cis form. That is why it is written as photochemical isomerization of trans stilbene to cis isomer. A trans can absorb more light, so it will convert it to cis form. That is almost 100% reaction. Both the isomers get excited to a planar excited state, which undergo a twisted state, and the twisted from twisted state it will decay to both the isomers cis and trans. And the which compound inhibit or the restrict this reaction? That is what our question. And the answer is benzophenone, because benzophenone undergoes an energy transfer and interfere in this conversion. So benzophenone is the correct answer. Last question in this video, when aqueous solvents are to be used in IR spectroscopy, sample and reference cells are made up of, and the answer is CaF2. And IR spectroscopy, I did one video, you can watch that one. I will put the link in the description box. And HST playlist, you can check HST playlist. In that also a lot of videos are there. You just watch all the videos. If you have any doubt in those videos or in this video, you can comment. Here you know that at IS spectroscopy there are a lot of methods are there for solid compounds and liquid compounds. Different methods we are using, and CaF2 is not water soluble, so we can use CF2 when aqueous solvents are used. Okay, if you like this video, like, share and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. Also you can mail me. Thank you for watching.